Hello and welcome to Calmvestor podcast. I am Ethan. Join me on this journey to build solid financial thinking and take control of your financial future. Imagine this. You have just heard about a hot new tech stock. Everyone is talking about it. You jump in, investing a significant amount, only to see it crash a few months later. That feeling of regret can be overwhelming, can it not? Many people experienced something similar during the 2008 financial crisis. The market downturn was so painful that, years later, a study showed 44% of Americans vowed never to invest in stocks again. The memory of loss is a powerful force. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman highlighted that the pain of a financial loss is often psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of an equivalent gain. This is known as loss aversion. It deeply affects our financial behavior. Have you ever wished you could turn back time to change a poor financial decision? What if there was a way to look into the future, to anticipate those potential pitfalls before you commit your hard-earned money? Well, there is a powerful technique that can help us do just that. It is called a pre-mortem. It is a strategy where you imagine your plan has failed and then you work backwards to figure out why. The pre-mortem technique was developed by research psychologist Klein and championed by Daniel Kahneman. It is designed to identify weaknesses in a plan before it is too late. Unlike a post-mortem, which analyzes failure after it has happened, a pre-mortem is done beforehand. Its goal is to prevent that failure from ever occurring, or at least to minimize its impact. One of the primary benefits of this technique is that it helps to counteract what psychologists call optimism bias. This is our natural tendency to believe that we are less likely to experience negative events. So a pre-mortem is not about being negative or pessimistic. It is about being realistic and proactive. It is a strategic tool to make your financial plans more robust and resilient. Are you ready to learn how it works? Why do we even need such a tool? Well, our minds often play tricks on us when it comes to financial decisions. That optimism bias we just talked about can make us underestimate risks significantly. Then there is loss aversion, as Kahneman and Tversky described. The fear of losing money is so strong it can lead us to make irrational choices, like selling everything in a panic during a market dip. Sometimes, when making decisions in a group, like with family or partners, groupthink can take over. The pressure to agree with the majority or a dominant voice can obscure potential dangers. Often we make decisions based on incomplete information, gut feelings, or advice from people who are not experts. This subjectivity can be very costly in the long run. And let's not forget the impact of emotions like FOMO, the fear of missing out, which can rush us into investments, or panic selling when markets get volatile. These emotional reactions are rarely good for our finances. Daniel Kahneman aptly put it, we are often blind to our own blindness. We tend to be overconfident in what we think we know, and we cannot know what we do not know. This is where a structured approach helps. So what are the root causes behind our avoidance of imagining failure? Firstly, our brains are wired for psychological self-protection. Thinking about failure can be uncomfortable and anxiety-inducing, so we naturally steer clear. In many environments, there is a strong emphasis on positivity. Speaking about potential failure can be perceived as being negative, a killjoy, or lacking faith in the plan or the team. Overconfidence is another major factor. We often overestimate our knowledge, our skills, and our ability to control situations, especially if we've had some past successes. Speaking of past successes, we can become anchored to them. Previous wins might make us complacent and less likely to anticipate how new circumstances could lead to different outcomes. And sometimes, it is simply a lack of a structured process. We might not know about techniques like the pre-mortem, or we might not have a systematic way to analyze risks thoroughly. Warren Buffett said, "Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing." Now, let us dive into how you can conduct a pre-mortem for your own financial decisions. It is a straightforward process that can yield incredible insights. Step 1 is preparation. First, clearly define the specific financial decision or plan you are considering. For example, investing a certain amount in a particular stock, or buying a property, or starting a new side business. Next, if others are involved, like your spouse or business partners, bring them together. If it is a personal decision, you will do this yourself. The key is to create an environment where honest, even critical, feedback is welcomed. Then the person leading the pre-mortem, or you yourself, makes this critical announcement. Imagine we have made this decision. Now fast forward, say, 1 year from now. The plan has failed spectacularly. It is a complete disaster. This sets the stage. Step 2 is to brainstorm all the possible reasons for this hypothetical failure. Each person involved should independently write down every reason they can think of that could have led to this disastrous outcome. Do this for about 5 to 10 minutes. When brainstorming, consider various angles. Market risks like a recession, personal risks like a job loss or health issue, information risks like acting on bad data, or execution risks like not sticking to the plan. Think broadly. The crucial part here is independent brainstorming. This prevents groupthink and allows for a wider range of potential issues to be surfaced without initial judgment or discussion. Step 3 involves sharing, consolidating, and prioritizing. Each person, in turn, reads out one reason from their list. Someone should record all these reasons on a shared document or whiteboard. Continue this round robin until all unique reasons have been shared. As you go, discuss any unclear points and group similar reasons together to avoid redundancy. The goal is to create a comprehensive list of potential failure points. Once you have the full list, it is time to prioritize. Which of these potential failures are most likely to occur? Which ones would have the most severe consequences? Focus on the critical few. You might use a simple rating system like high, medium, or low for both likelihood and impact to help identify the most dangerous risks that need your immediate attention. Step 4 is to develop preventative actions and contingency plans. For each of the top priority risks you have identified, ask, what can we do right now to reduce the likelihood of this happening? And for those same top risks, ask, if this risk does materialize despite our efforts, what is our plan to deal with it? How can we mitigate the damage? This is your contingency plan. Based on this analysis, you might need to adjust your original financial decision or plan. Perhaps you delay it, gather more information, modify it to be less risky, or in some cases, you might even decide to abandon it if the risks are too great. The act of writing down these potential failures and mitigation strategies is powerful. It moves them from vague worries into concrete issues you can address systematically. Let's take an example. Suppose your decision is to borrow a large sum, say $50,000, to invest in the stock market, hoping for quick returns. In your pre-mortem, you assume that 1 year later, you have lost half of that borrowed money and are struggling with debt, a financial disaster. What could have caused this? Potential reasons brainstormed might include a sudden market crash, choosing volatile stocks without enough research, using excessive leverage, failing to set stop-loss orders, or an unexpected personal income drop making loan repayments difficult. The prevention plan might then include reducing the loan amount, investing only in diversified, less volatile funds, strictly defining exit points for investments, ensuring you have an emergency fund, and thoroughly researching before investing. The pre-mortem technique does not guarantee 100% success. No strategy can. However, it significantly increases your odds by forcing you to confront potential weaknesses and threats proactively. It helps shift your mindset from passive hope to active, strategic planning. Imagining failure is not about dwelling on the negative. It is about empowering yourself to build a stronger, more resilient financial future. Undertaking this perspective hindsight is a hallmark of financial maturity and intelligent decision-making. It is about taking control rather than leaving your financial well-being to chance. As the saying goes, do not wish for it to be easier, wish for you to be better. The pre-mortem helps you become better at making financial decisions. It is one of the most powerful tools for safeguarding your financial journey. So before you make your next important financial decision, I encourage you to take 30 minutes to conduct a pre-mortem. Ask yourself, if this fails, what could be the reasons? You might be surprised by what you uncover. Thanks for listening. If you found this content valuable, do not forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next episode. Have an amazing day filled with positive energy.